Since I did one for Mania, it's only fair that I do one for Forces. As of writing, Sonic Forces will be out on November 7th, basically a couple hours from now. Although the game is technically already out, as a couple of people have gotten the game early. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda jealous. Like, come on Sega, where's my early copy of Forces? I wanna be in the fucking cool kids club. Cough 'em up, Sega. Jokes aside, many of the people who have got the game early have been leaking the hell out of it. Like, this game has literally been leaked worse than Mania. Many of these leaks have been shared on sites like YouTube, which I honestly kinda find to be pretty shitty and very dickish. Especially considering how there are folks like me who are trying to avoid spoilers. Whatever, the game is almost out anyway. Like, literally in a couple hours. Now, just like in the Mania video, I'll be basing my opinions off of what has been officially shown. Not off of any of the leaks though, since I've barely seen any of them. Now, I was at the 25th anniversary party where they first revealed Forces as Project 2017, and seeing the reveal in a big room with a lot of other Sonic fans was quite the exhilarating moment, and it's one that I hold near and dear to me, along with the rest of the party. At that time, I was pretty ecstatic, even though they didn't show much of the game. Now that Forces is very close to release, I'm still pretty excited, although I do have one particular gripe, that being the level design, which from what I've seen, kinda looks like a step down from games like Generations. It's honestly disappointing that Forces won't end up being the definitive boost-styled game. Even with all that said, it does still look pretty fun, with all those different set pieces and dynamic camera angles. And at least there seems to be a decent amount of 3D. Classic Sonic also looks pretty decent as well, although I do miss the 2.5D-esque level design from the Generations classic Sonic stages, where you go from foreground to background. I think the custom hero is a pretty cool addition, although I'm not a big fan of the generic looking body proportions, but they do make up for that with a wider range of customizable options. As far as their stages go, what I've said about the modern Sonic stages also apply to these stages as well, although they don't look nearly as fun and do look a bit more automated than they should be. But the Wisp-On mechanic looks really neat. The game may have the best implementation of the Wisps, and I usually hate the Wisps. There's also the fourth playstyle, that being Tag Team, which, from what I've seen, basically looks like boneless Sonic heroes. Also, it's fully 3D, which is pretty neat. Altogether, that's 4 different playstyles, which in turn will present this game with a lot of variety. The story looks really good this time. For the first time since Unleashed, it looks like they're actually putting effort into the story and writing, and that's nice to see that other characters are actually serving a purpose to the plot for once. Now all we need is for them to be playable again, and we're good. I'm curious to see how the confrontations with the 4 returning villains will play out. As far as Infinite goes, well, I don't know what to say about him yet. I like the design of many of the different environments, even if some of them are returning stages. I'm also really liking what I'm hearing of the soundtrack, and I'm glad vocal themes are finally returning. I especially like Infinite's theme. Now I can't do this video without mentioning the rather colorful reception this game has gotten from fans. It's easy to see that this is probably the most polarizing Sonic game we've gotten in years. Either you love Sonic Forces or you hate Sonic Forces. There's been a lot of fighting and arguing and overall toxicity over this. Now, a lot of the hate for Forces is understandable. Hell, I have many of my own criticisms for the game. But to go out and mock someone simply for looking forward to it is just plain shitty. But the same also applies to those who are attacking others for disliking Forces. What your opinions are for any game, book, TV show, and movie are simply what you think, and you shouldn't be judged for that. As for me, well, I have a lot of negative things to say about Forces. I also have a lot of positive things to say about Forces. Me and many others have been waiting a long time for a new 3D modern Sonic title. Exactly 4 years. And after all this time, we're finally getting it. And while it may be bringing back a lot of things I hate about modern Sonic titles, it's also bringing back the things I've loved over the years. In general, I'm looking forward to Forces. So, with all that said, it's time for me to crawl back into my hole of irrelevancy for another 3 months. Just kidding! I do have many other things planned for the channel, one of them being the next part of the Sonic retrospective. It's just a matter of getting around to doing them. I do have many things holding me back, with one of them being high school and another revolving around my equipment, mainly my computer. It might be a while before I upload again, but eventually I'll pick up Steam and start uploading as much as possible. Until then, see you next time.